手合わせならいつでも付き合おう。
Alrighty, boys and girls, it is finally time to play with Beidou. I've been waiting a long time to play with my waifu. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and jump into the video and show our Beidou showcase. Okay, let's go ahead and go over the build I got right now. All right, so for Beidou, what I ended up going with was a Skyward Pride, but if you don't have that, which most people don't, I ended up going with a Reed Slasher. Now, if you don't, again, have an R5 Rain Slasher, again, the Unexpected Session Prototype Archaic, or you can go with a Sacrificial Greatsword. All four of which are great. Personally, I like the Sacrificial Greatsword as far as the best possible option. After using the Rain Slasher for a long time, it did the most damage, but the energy recharge gain that I can see from the Skyward Pride, I would clearly like a lot from this kit. So if I did have an option, this is the weapon I would choose. It also has an extremely high base attack value, which means it would match the same amount of attack as the Prototype Archaic, except you have a lower attack percentage, but energy recharge replacing it, and the ability to get your E up twice so you can get your ultimate up very, very quickly. For artifact build for Beidou right now, I'm going with a 2-piece Noblesse Oblige, as well as a 2-piece Thundering Fury. And this set overall, I did go with a very significant amount of attack percentage, as well as energy recharge rate, as well as crit hits and crit damage. The overall Electro Cup that I was using boosted my overall crit chance to 40%, crit rate, as well as 160 crit damage, and finally 85% total Electro damage. I didn't really go with that much Electro Elemental Mastery in this build, because after testing the Rain Slasher heavily, I can say that the Elemental Mastery you get from that build does boost your damage, but not enough that you really want to go into it very heavily. For talents right now, I'm rocking a level 8 talent, normal attack talent on my Beidou, but I don't really end up going in that normal attack route, but I do use a Fizz Beidou at times. I only do have a level 11E, which comes out to a level 8 if you do not Constellations, and of course, my Stormbreaker is at max and fully crowned, because this is a big PP damage thing. She's my waifu. Overall, I have C6 Beidou, and for this build to work, you really only need C2 Beidou to come out, but the damage starts ramping pretty heavily with the C6 Beidou. C4 Beidou does give you some extra damage on normals, but is not necessary for the entire way we're doing things. I'd say if you wanted to make this build really work effectively, C0, C1, C0 is really good, is fine. C2 lets you get those extra lightning procs that goes over to other enemies, gets your AoE, and really does help out a lot for your damage. For the team composition I'm rocking right now, I am rocking with a Ganyu, Fischl, and Sucrose. Now, this team composition is actually really, really cool to work with Beidou for her ultimate, because it actually gives you a very large amount of energy recharge. By using this, Beidou has a major flaw in her kit, and her major flaw in her kit is that her ultimate is costing 80 energy. And because it costs an 80 energy, it does take a significant amount of time to get back up again. The way I get around that, of course, is by using an Elemental Resonance for Electro. This allows me to, anytime I pop a Superconduct, Overload, Electrocharge reaction, I have a 100% chance to generate an Electro Elemental Particle with a cooldown of 5 seconds. What this means is that I'm able to get my energy back quicker. Since I'm also using 2 Electro characters on the same team, it also makes it so that anytime I get Electro Particles from Fischl, I am able to get those same Electro Particles back on my entire team, giving me more energy toward Electro, and it does help me a little bit toward my Ganyu as well as Sucrose. Now, Ganyu is on the team strictly as a cryo producer, and is here as a support capacity in order to give myself lots of cryo on the team, and I'm using Fischl as a main DPS. Fischl, of course, is replaceable with a character like Razor if you want to use him as a primary Fizz DPS, or a character like a Ching, of course, if you want to use that as a primary Fizz DPS as well. Now, the crazy thing about this team composition is it has very little weaknesses, and the only thing that I would replace on my entire team would be changing Sucrose for the waifu Jean. And the reason I would actually change in Jean is because if I use Jean on this composition, I am able to have a full rounded team that can break through every type of barrier imaginable. The first thing I have on the rocks, of course, is we have Beidou with lightning damage. We have Ganyu with cryo damage for water shields, as well as providing Superconduct to the team. We have Beidou having a Claymore, being able to break through rock shields as well. We have Fischl on the team going through high Fizz DPS, so any enemies that have a lot of physical resistance, we are able to get rid of that. And of course, we have Jean in here with a Viridescent Virenur set with a healing type build in order to lower elemental resistances toward cryo as well as lightning, giving me the full rounded team that gives me every possible damage rotation against a lot of different things. Next up, I'm going to show you in this team a little bit more about how this team really fares against Again, stages like floor 11 in the Abyss, so that you can see that it actually does have a significant energy recharge while using this build, and you can use it in order to do large amounts of damage to enemies. Next up, we have Ganunu. She's using, of course, a 4-piece cryo set, and in this set, of course, she's going to be rocking level 6 talents because I'm using her more of as a support type build, and I'm going to be using her with Z0, and I'm actually using her with a stringless right now. I do not think this is the best option for her, but the way I was using her currently, since I wasn't using any normal attacks or charge attacks, this ended up becoming a very, very nice build for her. But if you don't have a refined 5 stringless, what I would end up going with would be a Blacklift Warbow for this particular strategy, because then you would be able to get a lot of amount of crit damage on your Ganyu and boost out a lot of your damage overall. This is probably the best overall option for you as a player if you're looking for that build. The Viridescent Hunt can get you some nice little grouping mechanics as well, so if you're looking for a Viridescent Hunt, if your crit chance is a little bit on the lower side, this could be a great way for you to boost your crit chance if you do have a lot of artifact rolls that are geared more toward crit damage. My official, of course, is rocking a refined 1 Amos bow, and I did not refine the second one because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it for showcase. And it's the same official build that I've used for many moons, and you can see here I do have a very nice official build overall with some crit damage pieces, but unfortunately my fist cup needs a little bit of work, just like most people's. And of course, my headpiece is actually not even my best in slot headpiece, and I am using that right now in my Mona for a different team. Now for my Sucrose, what I ended up doing, of course, is going with a full Elemental Master rebuild with a sacrificial fragments with refined 1 because I just didn't get lucky. And over here you can see I have a 4-piece Viridescent Hunt. Each of the pieces, of course, are rocking with as high elemental mastery as I possibly can, going for elemental mastery for every single spot. Unfortunately, of course, I did not max out my elemental mastery in this case, but I'm probably going to going forward. The headpiece, I ended up getting an 86 elemental mastery on the subset roll. I do have another elemental mastery piece in the works here, but I decided between the 2 pieces, I was like, well, 86 elemental mastery or a very large amount of attack percentage, I might want to go with the attack percentage piece because I don't know if the additional EM transfer is going to be that helpful. But for overall stats, he doesn't have a lot of crit chance or crit damage. He's basically just an EM battery, giving me a little bit more damage. For talents, he's only going to be rocking level 9 talents because of everything, all of her builds, and of course he's C6 to give me increased damage on my elemental damage to give me a huge boost when I use Electro Charge in the swirl. So overall, using Ganyu as a support for this build is really, really fun, and I like it a lot. What just happened? Wow. Wow. When people say Electro's dead. I can't tell which one's better. I honestly can't tell which one's better. What are you doing? All right, guys. Well, my name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Jake, want to say bye? And shoot you in the face. Have a great day, guys.